This week, I head home to take a long-haul flight with an airline I used to call my favourite, yet today I'm almost embarrassed by what they've become, as I take a flight from my old home to my new one on board an airline that used to be called the world's favourite airline.
British Airways, the world's favourite airline.
You know, British Airways used to call themselves the world's favourite airline, and yeah, I've had some amazing flights with them in the past. I even made a video once saying how they were my favourite airline, but things seem to have changed a little bit, and these days, well, I'm not even sure that they're Britain's favourite airline anymore. So I'm flying British Airways Club World today, their business class product, to see just what exactly has happened to them and what it's like these days. Let's go and get checked in. Hey, good morning. Hi. Good morning, how you doing?
Good morning.
I'd like to check in, please, for Houston.
Houston.
Yeah.
Still talking.
And that's done.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you, have a good day.
Bye.
Right, they're all checked in through security. Wasn't too bad this morning. Now we've got to head through the chaos that is Heathrow Terminal 5 and get across to the B gates, which is where we're going from today for today's ride across to Houston. Let's go.
B32 to B48. Please take all belongings with you. Next stop, gates C52 to C66.
Hi, good morning, how are you?
I'm good, so how about yourself?
Thank you, yeah, good, thank you.
Beautiful, the gate's just under your feet as well.
Alright, awesome, thank you very much.
Enjoy, yeah?
Cheers, thank you. Sorry about your way.
It's alright really, isn't it?
It's quite nice, that's why I picked this one instead of the other one.
Yeah, we're on sea anyway, but the plane's on sea, so we're halfway
Yeah.
there, but
Makes
the other
sense,
ones
doesn't
are
it?
horrendous these days.
Yeah.
We come to New York a few months ago, and they said, "Oh, come here, don't
Yeah.
go
Really,
over
Don't go
there."
in that one.
Yeah.
So honestly, I have kind of fallen out of love with BA a bit lately for many reasons. I'll talk about a few of them in this video, but yeah, they're not the airline they used to be, and it's kind of with regret that I have to make this video really, because it's probably going to be the last time that I actually take a decent long haul flight with them, for a bit at least. So yeah, I'll talk about some of them reasons today. One thing they do have though that is amazing is a nice sausage and a nice bit of bacon. No black pudding though, unfortunately, but it'll do. And they got brown sauce. Alright, slightly caffeinated now. Let's go and see if we can get on board our ride today across the Atlantic to Houston. I headed down to the gate where Heathrow Airport were proud to announce that only 69% of flights had left on time in the last month. I was just hoping that mine would be one of them.
Anyone in group 2? Please have your passports and boarding pass ready.
Hey, good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a while since I've had a boarding, not boarding situation, but today was one of them, and we waited for about 10 minutes before they let us on board. Hey, hey. Sorry. Once I'd managed to dodge all the crew members hard at work in the galley, I turned left into the business class cabin and was surprised to find it was in the new BA Club Suites configuration, which was pretty decent really. Right, and welcome on board British Airways Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner. Now, this is actually quite a nice product for BA, I have to say, and even I have to admit that, because the regular product that they have in most of their fleet is the battered old Victorian era 2-2 top and tail seats, which are a bit annoying. I've flown on most of the time. In fact, I think every flight bar one I've ever had on BA has been in those seats whenever I've flown business class, and it is not nice at all. You have to climb over people to get out and everything. it's not the best really, and they have those seats on most of them, but this one actually is quite nice. It's the new one. It's the club suites. We've got the closing door, we've got all the little cubby holes here, we've got the controls here for the seat, which are quite nice. Big TV screen in front of us as well, and quite a comfy seat too that goes all the way into a flat bed. Maybe using that today on this flight. I haven't had anywhere near enough sleep, and we'll see once we take off. So the first thing about BA then, it's getting quite frustrating whenever I book a flight with them, and that is that even if you book a seat up here in business class, you have to pay extra then to select your seat, which seems like a minor niggle. Bearing in mind this flight has cost me 1,500 quid, or about $2,000 for a flight to Houston in business class. They then charge me an extra £89 to choose a seat. And I like to choose my seat, so I get a window, and so I get sitting on the right side of the plane, depending on which way it's going. I like to choose the right seat, as most people do, but 89 quid to choose your business class seat. It's just crazy, really, when they're already charging you a business class fare. And they're one of the only airlines in the world that do that, and it drives me crazy. But with a glass of champagne in hand and a 30-minute delay later, we push back from the gate to get on our way for the flight across the Atlantic to Houston, Texas. Alright then, 35 minutes late, we are airborne from Heathrow heading across to Houston. I'm glad it's only a 35-minute delay because BA do have a bit of a reputation in Texas, at least, for often cancelling flights, delaying them for hours or cancelling them completely. The last time I was due to fly on BA out of Houston, they cancelled it with 2 days notice, which was a bit frustrating. So that does happen quite a lot. Reliability is a bit of an issue, which again, it's a shame. BA used to be known for being so reliable, but nowadays they really aren't. But in any case, about a 10-hour run today across to Houston. Maybe they will make up that 30 minutes or so. It's not the end of the world. It's a long flight. We've got plenty of time to make it up. I'll have a bit of a bite to eat soon and then try and get my head down and get a bit of rest, I think, on this flight. Alright, so it's time to get a little privacy. And speaking of privacy, I do want to say a big thank you to this week's video sponsor, Surfshark. You see, Surfshark is a VPN, which sounds very technical, and it kind of is in a way, really. VPNs basically encrypt all of your data whenever you're travelling around the world, connected to different Wi-Fi hotspots and things. Now, like on British Airways, I'm connected to the Wi-Fi right now, and if you're not careful, other malicious actors, let's say, could connect onto that network and start trying to intercept all of your data while you're trying to get out onto the web. That's not a good thing. Surfshark, however, encrypts all of that data, meaning that whenever you connect to the internet, nobody can spy on anything that you do online. It's pretty cool. The other really awesome thing about Surfshark is it lets me choose which country around the world I want to connect to the internet from. So I'm on a flight right now from London to America. When I was in London, I was able to watch Netflix in America or watch HBO Max in America and be able to watch my American TV shows. But when I'm at home in America, I can connect back to the UK and watch programs on Channel 4 or BBC and things like that that I wouldn't be able to otherwise watch when I'm outside the country. Surfshark's super easy to use too. It works on pretty much every device. You can use it on your mobile phone, you can use it on your laptop, you can use it on Windows, you can use it on Mac, you can use it on Apple or Android. It's pretty universal, really, and you just install it, you connect to whichever country you'd like to connect to, and pretty soon then you're connected to the internet just like you were before, but just with that extra level of benefit. Surfshark are giving you 3 months for free when you use my promo code Noel Phillips at surfshark.com/Noel Phillips. Links on the screen now. Sign up for Surfshark. Right now, Surfshark are giving you 4 months free when you visit surfshark.com/Noel Phillips. That's quite nice. So one of the big issues really with BA at the minute is the changes they're making to their executive club. It was called the Executive Club. It's the frequent flyer program. And it was really popular with a lot of British people and people from around the world because it was quite easy to get your status with it. Well, this year they've changed it all up. They've renamed it from the Executive Club to the BA Club. It's not so executive anymore. And they've changed the way that you earn your points as well through that and get status. The way it used to work is that you had something called tier points, which were quite easy to get if you flew a flight in Europe, for example. In Club Europe, you'd get 20 tier points. If you flew from Europe to Asia, you'd get like 40 or 60 or something like that. It was quite straightforward, and then you need a certain amount of tier points to get your status with BA. So it's quite easy for people to get, and if you were running a bit low on the tier points, you could just do a quick tier point run somewhere. There were little hacks that you could do to get a lot of tier points for short flights. For instance, if you went through Finland, I think it was, then you got more tier points than you would if you went sort of direct. So if you took a flight, say, from London to Europe, you could just connect in Finland and get like 3 times as many tier points. There were little things like that you could do. The old Sri Lankan Airlines trick was a good one, because if you went to sort of Asia from London, that was really cool because you'd get like so many more tier points by having that connection there. Well, that's all gone now, and it's entirely based on spend. And effectively now, to get your status with BA, you've got to spend money, and the more money you spend, the more tier points you get. And you need a lot. I think to get gold status with BA now, you need 20,000 tier points, which equates to spending £20,000 on flight tickets just to get gold status. 20 grand. That's like $25,000, $27,000. You do the math, but it's a lot, really. Which is a shame, because before, if you didn't spend a lot of money on tickets, if you bought cheaper tickets, well, it was okay. You could just work your routes right and still get rewarded for that loyalty. But now they're basically wanting the money. That's all they're after now, is the money. And if you don't spend the money, you don't get the points and don't get the status. A bit frustrating. The other thing is, the miles that you get on BA are called Avios, which are great, and I used to collect a ton of Avios miles and leave them there. They were so handy, because if ever I wanted to book a flight somewhere last minute, for example, if I'm on a trip and something changes, a flight gets cancelled and I suddenly have to hop across Europe or something, that's fine. I could just use Avios points to buy a cheap ticket somewhere. The good thing about them was they were so flexible before. So if I'd got a tight connection, I could book an Avios redemption for later in the day. And then if I made my original connection, I could just cancel the Avios one, for example. And the flexibility made life so much easier for me. But now that's all gone. And I booked a flight on my last trip when I was over in Dubai, the last time I came through London. And I booked a Avios redemption that I didn't end up using, so I ended up cancelling it. Before, they used to refund the points. You just get them refunded straight back to your balance. That don't happen anymore. If you cancel an Avios reward redemption now, you lose the points. And I'm like, it's not costing them anything for these points, but you lose them completely. So if you spend them, I think I'd spent 50,000 Avios on a flight that I had to cancel and lost them. It's BA, that's the way it's going. So I've gone for the most British meal I could on the plane today. I've gone for the shepherd's pie. The starter wasn't very British, it was a burrata, which was quite nice. It's like a cheesy thing. But this is shepherd's pie, made from real shepherds. Oh, it's nice. It's a taste of England. Very decent. See, another thing is, with regards to the meal service, BA now have cut back a lot of the meal services that you get. They now serve breakfast on later departing flights in the morning, which means that if you leave like even sort of later in the morning now, a lot of the time you just get a breakfast service, which is less food. It makes it more cost effective for the airline. But also in the evening, if you fly eastbound on those transatlantic flights overnight from the US back to the UK, they have decided to get rid of the full dinner service that you get, and they just provide you with a supper service. It's just a cheese and crackers, really, apparently due to popular demand. And while I'm not entirely sure what popular demand that is, it seems to me more like cost cutting, really. But anyway, that's what they do now. So you don't get a full meal now if you fly eastbound on those late night flights, which is a bit annoying, really, because you do what every other airline. It's just BA that have cut back on that as well. And one thing that hasn't changed though with BA that I'm quite grateful for is the customer service you get when you're on board is pretty nice. The cabin crew, always generally pleasant. You don't very often find grumpy cabin crew on BA, in my experience anyway. Maybe they are there, it's a big company, they probably are at some point, some grumpy people, but for the most part they're very nice, very friendly and very helpful. It's more than you can say for their customer support when you have to call them though. That is pretty shocking. They've outsourced a lot of it over to India, and you call now and you get put in a massive queue. You speak to people who don't really understand what they're doing with the job necessarily. I've been on the phone, last time I think I called them I was on the phone for about an hour and a half and I still didn't get the issue resolved that I had. So it's not ideal, but once you get on board, the crew are always generally really, really nice in my experience, which is decent really. You just have to sort of hope that you don't have any problems in the meantime.
It's time for the Noel Phillips Lou Review.
Alright then, the British Airways 787-10 loo review, and this is the middle loo here on the 787 in between the two business class cabins, and it's not too bad. It's a little bit tiny, a little bit small. We've got what we got down here, a sink and a bin thing, a few bits of toiletries. Harrods, very posh Harrods stuff down there, and then we've got the loo just right there, and the baby changing table, and whatever that is. What the heck is he doing on there? I have no idea what that man's doing on there. Is that where you sit and, I don't know, tie your shoelaces? No idea. And a mirror with yours truly inside it. Very nice. Yeah, so far pretty decent on this flight actually. After, consider all the changes that BA make to their service, all the bits they strip out, all the extra charges they wallop on, all the things they remove. Yeah, it's pretty crap. But actually, when you fly with BA, they're not that bad. The crew are generally pretty decent, and it's generally a relatively pleasant experience. But hey, anyway, I'm going to use the loo, get back to my seat and try and get a bit of kip on this flight because I am exhausted.
That was the Noel Phillips Lou Review.
So then, the brand new BA Amenity kit. This seems a lot smaller than the last one that I had when I flew on BA last year. They seem to get smaller all the time. But let's see what's inside. So what do we get nowadays? We get the same eye mask as before. It's quite nice. Not as nice as my nice shiny new one though. Sneak preview, I'll show you that in a minute. Socks, earplugs, lip balm, that's tiny compared to the other one I think. Plus point, not sure what that is. Moisturiser, again very tiny. And on a dental kit, and that's it. Now that Amenity kit isn't as nice as the Noel Phillips Amenity kit, which unfortunately is no longer in stock. We've sold out of all of those now because they were just really popular actually. We do have some new ones though. We do have a new travel kit. Bum, 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 exclusive reveal, and the highlight, well there's two highlights of this. Look at this, a passport case. It's made of like a suede material. Look, it's got passport and it's got a 747 on the front. You know it's going to be a winner. And then inside you open it up, look, you've got space for your passport here, spots for SIM cards, SD cards, credit cards, loyalty cards, all that sort of stuff. And I've got an air tag in there as well, so I don't lose it. You get that. You get the brand new Noel Phillips eye mask in a beautiful lush grey colour now. It's like a silver metallic colour, but look at that. These things are just amazing. They're so comfy, and they don't press on your eyeballs, which is quite nice. It's nice when you don't get it pressed on your balls, otherwise you sort of wake up and you can't see properly. But anyway, the pièce de résistance, boom, travel pillow, a new travel pillow. Let me open it for you. Would you look at that? How nice is that? Lush, it's fluffy, and it's comfy too. Perfect. Oh, that's actually really nice. That is so nice. It's really good, and these comfy for these nice long flights, whether you're in business class, whether you're in economy, and it's squishy, but it's sort of like memory foam, so it sort of sits to where it needs to be. It's very nice. Now you can buy all of these 3 things separately on the website at noelphillips.com, or even better, you can buy them as a deal and get a combo and get all 3 together as a travel kit and get an absolute ton of money saved off them. So have a look on the site and get them while you still can, because they won't be around for long. They go really quickly. The Amenity kits that we had last time, I think they'd gone in about 2 weeks after putting them on. So get on there now and get them ordered for your loved one, or even for yourself, for a little gift for you, hey. And I'm going to use these to try and get a little bit of kip. That's better. Alright then, I have put the bed down to try and get a little bit of rest on this flight. It's actually quite spacious. There's quite a lot of room and there's nice bedding as well. It's not as lush as what you get with some of the American airlines like United. You get a nice duvet. This is just like a bit of a thicker blanket, but hey, it'll do for today. It's a daytime flight. I'm guessing not many are sleeping, but I am, because I'm still on Houston time, so we took off at like 3 o'clock in the morning Houston time, so yeah, my plan is to get a bit of rest now, and yeah, we'll see how that goes, and I'll see you in a little while. Good night. I had a few hours napping, and when I woke up we were somewhere over Canada, starting our way down across North America. So my big question, what do I do about British Airways with my sort of loyalty? Well, I've been a member of the British Airways Executive Club for as long as I can remember. I think I joined back in like 2005 or something crazy like that. And I've had status with them for many, many years. I think I first got status in like 2013 or something. So you're talking sort of 10, 12 years now of having status with them. And yeah, they've been a very important airline for me. Most of the development of this channel, I've been a status member with them as long as I've had this YouTube channel, which is crazy. They've been my preferred sort of one world partner, and I might not have flown as much with BA since we moved out of the UK, but I've still been flying an awful lot with one world airlines. American from time to time, Qatar Airways, Qantas when I'm down in Australia. I fly a lot with one world to keep that status going. Now, well, is it really worth it for me? Probably not. It's hard enough for me to maintain status with BA at the best of times living in the States, let alone now they've put in these spending requirements, which, to be honest, I probably can't do. I don't spend a lot of money with BA these days, and that's the problem, and I guess they just don't want people being a part of their club who don't spend a lot of money. They want people to spend money with them, which I guess is business 101, but for me it leaves me in a bit of a quandary. You see, my main status airline now, I live in the States now, I live in Houston is United, I'm at 1K with them. That's my, Star Alliance is my main gig now, and I will try and maintain that status as long as I can. I've also got SkyTeam status through SAS. Now it was with KLM, but now I'm SkyTeam SAS Gold member too, so I'll be with them for a little bit. It kind of pushes One World out now, and with these BA changes it means I'm probably less likely to want to fly One World carriers altogether, really. Now, you think American Airlines might be a good option for me being in Texas with them being based up at DFW? Kind of, but I really dislike American Airlines. If I'm completely honest, their service is just awful a lot of the time. The planes aren't brilliant, the service isn't great. I don't fly with American, and I do not want to be in a position where I have to fly with them a lot. And also, they kind of compete with United, so for me it makes more sense to keep on with United where I can. The other option over here now that's an interesting one is Alaska Airlines, who are recently part of One World. They've just bought Hawaiian, who are also going to be joining One World. I'm thinking that maybe Alaska would be my good option going forward. In fact, the last few flights on this one I'm crediting to Alaska Airlines just to get me some sort of starting point with them. Maybe I'll look at Qatar Airways for status, but I don't tend to fly with them enough. Alaska, at least I've got a chance of flying them domestically quite a bit over here, so I think that going forward for One World, I'll be flying more with Alaska and trying to avoid the Americans and the BAs. Whether I get status with them or not, I don't know, but honestly I don't really fly with them enough now on One World Airlines to justify it, so that's kind of where I'm at the minute. But pretty much United is me now, and I do find that when I fly long haul, I'd much rather take a connection with United in Newark, for example, going to Europe, or in DC going to Europe, than I would with BA across to London and into Europe, because United are just so much better than BA flying across the Atlantic. I'm on long-haul flights in general, really. I absolutely love them, and they get a very good reputation too. I chat to a lot of people, a lot of Brits who live in Houston, through like local Facebook groups and things like that, and they all say the same thing as well. United is the way to go. Avoid BA as much as possible when you go into London from Houston and to Europe, and that's kind of what I intend to do now, which is a shame really, because, well, BA's been such a big part of my life. One of the things I do like about BA is their afternoon tea service that they give you as a snack later on in the flight. Sure, it's not the cheeseburger and fries that you get on the American carriers, but you do get a nice scone with clotted cream and jam, and some little sandwiches as well to snack on. For most of the flight across North America, we were chasing the Singapore Airlines A350 from Manchester to Houston. Alright, we've started our descent down into Houston, Texas. We are nearly home now. Should be on the ground in the next sort of 30 minutes or so. We are running pretty late after that late departure from London back there, so we'll keep everything crossed and we'll see how late we're going to end up being. Although we get a lot of sunshine and blue skies in Houston, today was not one of those days. And as we landed, there were thunderstorms and low clouds all around the Houston area. My flight this week then cost me just short of $2,500 or roughly 4.3 million Malawian kwachas, working out at a cost of 51 cents per mile. Thank you.
Bye, thank you. Bye now. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Nice to meet you. See you. Bye bye. Hey. Right, made it home. And you see, well, this is the frustrating thing about all the situation with British Airways. Half my office is British Airways, as you can see. I love the airline. They've been such a big part of my life, as I mentioned before. An entire corner of my model collection is British Airways, alongside my United one, which makes up half and half. The British side, the American side, sort of showing where I've come from and where I'm going, really. The studio corner of my office, where I sit and do some videos while I'm here at home, I've got British Airways even here. That's a BA 747 window. That's a BA 777 window. I've even got a headrest cover off a BA plane on my seats. And I've got British Airways here, right behind my desk. That's the BA 319 window. I've actually literally sat behind that exact window while I was filming a video on this channel. And, well, that's the thing, really. It makes me so sad to see the state that British Airways is in. They've gone from being one of the best airlines in the world, in my opinion, to what they are now, which is just cost-cutting, low-cost airline. Really, they're a low-cost carrier now, and even the business class is just as nice as the seats were on that 787 today. Well, it's still the general experience that lets BA down. They penny pinch, they cost cut at every single level, and they feel so far from the premium airline that they used to be before. And that's a shame, really. BA is in my blood, it always has been. And to be at this point now where I would rather fly on any other airline, well, it's a sad place to be. I really hope that BA can pull it out of the bag and start to get back to where they were before as one of the world's greatest airlines. It would be amazing to see that, but for now, I'm going to continue to fly on United. When I fly to Europe, I'll try and fly on other airlines that aren't BA, because I just know that I'm going to get a better service on most of the other airlines. Let me know what you think to BA and their fall from grace down in the comments below. And yeah, in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care, be kind to one another, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.